President and COO of BuzzFeed and a CNBC contributor who's here at Post 9. John, good to have you back.
Good to be here.
Is this a loss for them?
I think the horse has been out of the barn for a while on this now. You already have many states where they have a locus of principle where they're required to collect tax. Brad Stone, in the book that he just put out on Amazon called The Everything Store, he talks about how they had color-coded maps years back to try to tell people which states they could travel to and not travel to. They relocated startups. This has sort of been a losing battle for a lot of years. In New York and in 16 other states, we're already collecting sales tax.
I've heard some people suggest that it's the end of showrooming, right? It's the end of that edge that Amazon had, at least in some states, for the past several years.
Yeah, and the edge is also tied to getting more and more distribution facilities closer and closer to consumers. So as they do that, inevitably to do the delivery that they want to do, they're going to have to lose that tax loop as well.
Is it always going to be cheaper to be an online retailer? Are you always going to have an edge because you don't have the bricks and mortar and the staff and the space and the heating and the washrooms? I mean, it's got to be cheaper, hasn't it?
Well, you have the delivery cost, but you also have, in Bezos, someone who's willing to cut margins and go razor thin. On 60 Minutes last week, he was talking about just how much money he's willing to lose, just how unprofitable he's willing to make the business to deliver to consumers.
That's a sales pitch, though, saying I'm going to sell you stuff at cost this holiday, isn't it? I mean, he brilliantly manipulated the media over the last 48 hours.
Well, I would say the drone was a bit much, right? I mean, I don't think
everybody picked it up.
Yeah, I know.
My God, everybody.
Well, I mean, it's almost like a show, right? I mean, if you show someone a drone delivering a package, everyone's going to say, even if this could magically happen in a bunch of years, let's get excited about it now.
He did talk seriously, though, about disruption, being the disruptor, of course, and one day expecting that his company will be disrupted.
Yeah.
You believe that?
I do believe that. You know, it's funny. When he said, I feel like companies get decades, I hope that Amazon is around at least until I die, I thought a bit about our business. You know, we're constantly disrupting, and we've disrupted a lot of incumbents in a very period of time.
You have.
And you feel like it could come behind you any minute. So, yes, I do think companies have a finite lifespan. Hopefully it's decades and not years.
Although in the business you're in, it would seem, John, things are moving so rapidly that I would expect you to be looking over your shoulder already.
Yeah, and, a lot of the trends are changing. I mean, to talk about the holiday season a little bit more, last year at this time on Thursday and Friday, we saw internet traffic take a dip relative to weekends during the month. We were actually higher. We were actually 20% higher on Thursday and Friday relative to weekends. People are online basically all the time right now, especially on Thanksgiving when they can't stand their families. They're online even more as well. But we're seeing a real change. And the comps for the holiday season were basically flat. But then you see Amazon and eBay putting up numbers for when now it's called Black Weekend, I guess, because it stretches between Thursday and Sunday that are 30%, 40% higher. So even retail has dramatically changed this season, I think.
Black Friday, I think, is the latest phrase that I've heard. Finally, you had great traffic for November.
Yeah.
You beat out some very powerful competitors.
Yep.
A lot of it based on Facebook-driven traffic, which is something you brought to our attention a couple weeks ago.
I think the meme around this is, okay, well, Facebook traffic is fragile and Facebook traffic is Facebook give it, Facebook can take away. I don't actually think that's accurate. I think Facebook is a network where real people share content to one another. That's what's always been the driver in our business. It's not SEO. It's not something like demand media. We've created content that people want to pass to one another. And that is what's effectively driving the growth at this point. And Facebook has committed to publishers that they're basically going to be the place that people come to get news and information. And if you write stuff that other people want to send to other people, they're going to be able to get it.
John Steinberg of BuzzFeed. It's good to be the king, John.
Wow.